Hello there, my name is Brian Smith of Captain Smith Bail Bonds, coming to you from beautiful San Diego, California. Recently, I read in the newspaper where the state of California, probably the most anti-business state in the union, has come up with this wonderful idea that dog groomers need to be licensed. Now, I know there's all sorts of ways to generate revenue for a state. One way is to raise taxes. Another way is to increase fines that they levy to you in the courthouse. And another way is to basically make sure that anybody and everybody has to have a license. Now, a license works really well. And of course, a license generates revenue for the state. My fee for my license went from $36 a year to $130 a year. Lawyers recently went from $600 to $800, depending on their specialty. So that's a great revenue builder for the state of California. Remember, the most anti-business state in the country. But recently this has gotten to the point where I thought this was too stupid. I recently read in the newspaper that the state is proposing that we license dog groomers. Now, I can understand licensing people, barbers, or licensing bail bondsmen, attorneys, doctors, and a few other professions, real estate agents, what have you. But this has to be the furthest I've ever seen this state go off the beam when it comes to basically generating revenue. Now, for 15 years, I've known there was a dog, when I lived down in Ocean Beach, there was a dog grooming shop there. Essentially all it was a dog wash. So people could bring in their dog, and if they had the time, they could wash their own dog, or if they didn't, somebody would wash their dog for them. Now, I can't imagine that these people that have been there for this long, basically running a pretty doggone good service for their local community, are now going to have to do what? Get a license. Now, how do you get a license? Well, first up, somebody's got to say you have to have a license. Then they make it, there's a criteria to earn the license. And then there's probably a school to get that license that you have to take, and a test that goes along with that. Now, and then of course, to keep up this thing, there will probably be continuing education, and there will also be some sort of, there's going to be some sort of fee that you're going to have to pay the state to essentially have your license to wash your dog. Now, I don't know if something, in the end, these things will probably cost the proprietor of this dog grooming place anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 just to have a place to have your dog washed. Now, I don't know what the heck the whole deal is on this, and it really kind of torques my wrench to think that the local guy that lets you come in and wash your dog has got to come up with $5 grand to basically be licensed in the state. Now, every time I see anybody say you have to have a license or something like that, it's just another way of somebody trying to say that, hey, we're going to limit the entrepreneurship here, we're going to limit how many people do something, and in that regard, we're basically throwing people out of work because they can't own their own business. So, in that regard, I don't know why, and I really am not thrilled with this licensing of dog groomers.